Hey guys, let's talk today about how heavy you need to be lifting in order to build muscle. I'll give you 5 reasons why it's just not as much as you think it might be, so stay tuned. So yes, you need to challenge yourself with relatively heavy weight in order to build muscle, usually about 70% of what's called your 1 rep max. Now, that definitely sounds like it's a lot of weight, and in some cases it might be, or maybe not. It depends on what that 1 rep actually looks like, the quality of the movement. So, reason number 1 for why you don't need to lift as heavy as you might think is that usually you're not generating force that you think you are when lifting a heavy weight. So let's take that one step further so you understand exactly what I mean by that. When you're thinking about how much weight you're using, you're looking at it from the opposite direction. You're looking at it from the outside. What you really need to be doing is generating as much force as possible with your target muscle to induce that muscle damage and metabolic stress. So you need to be thinking more internally. The external weight of a dumbbell or a barbell or a machine is only providing the resistance against which you can generate that internal tension that you need. Reason number 2 is based directly on reason number 1. In order to generate maximal tension in your muscle, you must be able to hold one end of that muscle fixed and shorten it from the other end. For example, you hold the origins of your bicep muscle, which is on your shoulder blade or scapula. You hold that end still while you generate tension and contract and begin to shorten from the insertion which exists now on your forearm bones. That's the foundation of stability at your scapula that is going to allow your bicep to do maximal work. Otherwise, if both ends of the muscle are moving during a rep, you're not truly shortening the muscle as much as you can, and that sort of cheating usually happens when you're lifting a heavier weight than you're actually able to manage and control. Reason number 3. Speaking of cheating, most people when they're lifting a heavy weight are using a number of other muscles than the one they intend to. So usually you're using your delts when you're doing a bench press. Maybe your legs for a little bit of a hop when you're doing bicep curls. Maybe your rear delts on some rows. Maybe your traps on some lateral dumbbell raises. There's almost no point to lifting super heavy when you're cheating with other muscles to do the work. It's better to go lighter, focus attention where you want it, and stimulate that specific muscle or muscle group to grow. Reason number 4, your focus is only on shortening the muscle or on the concentric phase of each exercise. However, more muscle damage and therefore more growth potential lies in the eccentric or the negative, where your muscle is generating tension as it's lengthening. Think about that for a second. The eccentric or lowering portion of a bicep curl provides more muscle building potential than the upward part of the rep that everyone is obsessed with, just getting the weight up. Well, contracting hard while you're lowering it gets you more benefit. Tying reasons 3 and 4 together, there's a definite benefit in cheating a weight upward if you know what you're doing, if you can do it safely, or if you're using a spotter, if you can remain in control on the eccentric and reap the benefits of a well-controlled negative. Finally, reason number 5 why lifting heavy is not always the answer: injury. Injuries result during an exercise when there's instability around the joint, which is either deliberately or accidentally involved in a movement. One of the main sources of joint instability is moving through a range of motion that's greater than the range that you can control. And whenever a weight pushes or pulls you outside of a range that you can control with the muscles that you're actually intending to use, other and usually smaller and weaker muscles need to assist in order to stabilize and manage the load around that joint. When this happens, we also then make sudden moves as an emergency maneuver and something gives, usually soft tissues like ligaments and tendons, but sometimes full muscle tears. So with those 5 reasons, instead of lifting a super heavy weight, be sure that first, 1, you know how to generate tension in the muscle in its lengthened position, shortened position, and everywhere in between. Secondly, make sure you're able to remain completely stable with the weight that you're using and keep one of the muscles still while shortening from the other end. Don't cheat your way through the rep using other muscles, but if you do, have the help of a spotter, make sure you're in control of the negative. And then, of course, make the negative of every rep your greatest friend. Finally, stay within the range of motion that you can control with any given weight. Stay safe and injury-free and have a long and fun lifting career. Okay guys, so that's it for today's video, pretty short. I hope as always that you found information to be useful and that you actually put this information into practice to help to build the physique that you're after. I appreciate all the support that you guys continue to give to me, and I'd love it if you would share the video with others so that they can benefit as well. Until the next time, guys, aloha from beautiful Kauai.